Alright, so this is my review of Legendary Super Saiyan Goku, the new release from Figuarts. And this is using the all-new 3.0 body, and this is pretty much Figuarts' best figure ever made. And that's not an exaggeration. So he has a lot going on with him. He's just excellent, plain and simple. So get him right away if you're a DBZ fan, and if you want to find out more about him, keep watching and get him fast because he's just a general release. Prices are great on him, and he's everywhere. I got mine on eBay. You get him probably around the same price. He's hovering at like $70, I think. Big bad eBay, but be careful with eBay. Just know where to look, and you'll be okay. So let's just get straight into the review. Start with aesthetics and see how tall he is. And let's see, he does look a little bit on the short side, but let's see. And I know they're going off that kind of Namek Saga look. Oh, stay still. They're going off that Namek Saga look, where he is definitely a lot more kind of stocky, which is honestly my preferred look from him. He just looked menacing as hell in that saga. So the top of his skull, he's a little under 5.5 inches. Now, that's really my only critique with this figure so far. He's definitely too short. So Goku is not that short. He's like 5'7". So I'm not sure why he's so tiny here, but that's just a little off-putting because Goku's around 5'7", and I think his official height is actually 5'9". So that's a little disappointing. Forgot to weigh him, so let's just put that in right now. Just splice this in, and he's heavy. He's like 3.1 ounces, so he's definitely beefy, and you'd expect that. In terms of the figure itself, he looks good, so definitely not a bad looking figure at all. And they really filled him out. Like, he doesn't, it's almost like a statue, how well they filled out his details and things. Not a whole lot of like seam lines or anything like that. They filled in the recesses like just excellently. It looks like a statue. It looks like just from far away you could hardly tell it's a figure. Everything is there, just all the muscle detail. Even if you lift his arm up, they've got that covered too. Like very little hollow gapping and things like that. So they really went all out with this one. He's stocky. He's built like a tank, and I think that's how we all remember Goku looking like in Namek Saga. And it's just it's so fun to pose him. Like, it's so easy to just effortlessly get him in some pose that just reminds you of the show. And this is probably my favorite, bar none, look for Goku. Like, he was actually just menacing as hell here, and they really captured that. This is a Goku who was just out to kill, and we kind of lost that with Super. So this figure is really just kind of has like a huge nostalgia factor. Anyway, so aesthetics, easy 5 out of 5. Like, there's nothing to complain about. Maybe some shading would have looked nice because there's scars and things here that could have been shaded in, but most of the new figures do seem to be lacking that, but it's okay just because the sculpting is so heavy. It still looks good. But 5 out of 5 easily. So maybe a little bit of a wash or something, or like just kind of shading would have really brought it out, but still good. His pants do have shading on them. It does kind of transition. Looks great. The tears look great. Everything looks nice. No real paint defects that I could notice. Very clean lines on the yellow. No faded paint. Color separation is great. So 5 out of 5. Well, you know what? To be fair, I'm going to say 4.5 out of 5. Only because of the height. That's it. And I actually have, and we'll get into that in a second, but I have the original version of this figure, and we'll see how the heights compare. So I'm actually curious because I never actually checked. So 4.5 out of 5. That's it. Just the height. Could be a little bit taller. Let's get into articulation, and there's a lot going on here, so let's really get into it. So head is on a double ball joint, just a typical barbell joint, and it's amazing. So side to side, that's just insane. I was playing around with him a bit before. I'm still just shocked because there's no Figuarts. Look at that, like his head. And okay, just one thing, like, this is always an issue, that faceplate popping out when you go down too far. They need to find a workaround for that, but not as bad as other figures where they just literally fly off. And then watch this. You could literally look straight up. That's insane. So head does what you needed to, and actually the neck moves on a ball joint too, so no complaints there at all. Upper torso is on a very generous ball joint. You get really good side to side. Backwards that much, just on the upper. And this is just the upper diaphragm, that much forward. Now, if you factor in the lower diaphragm ball joint, that essentially gets doubled. So, excellent there. I'm not going to push it too far because I don't want to break him. And backwards, at about that much. And that's because, he's jacked like a moose. That's just kind of inhibiting it, but excellent either way. Okay, now, typical butterfly joint that you'd see on the newer from 3.0 figures. So really good movement here. Get in that much. Go out that much. Raise his arms. Double ball peg situation here. There's one connected to a butterfly joint and there's one that goes in deeper here. So very healthy movement there. Shoulders on a swivel. That's works excellently. And they really ironed out the kind of joint issues on this one. Like the tolerances of the bicep swivel, non-existent. He's just so utterly perfect. Shoulders are smooth as butter. Double bent on the elbow. Excellent. They've sculpted in the elbow nicely too. Doesn't look like a toy. Wrist is on your typical ball swivel. It works. No reason to change it. And he does swivel at the waist, obviously. Legs go up effortlessly. That's great. Throw his arms out. And I know there was people talking about a chest discoloration or something. I'm not really seeing that. But then again, my lights aren't the greatest, but I didn't really notice anything. He does the splits effortlessly. He does everything. You can't go back that much because a giant butt flap that looks kind of weird too. And I agree with all the other reviewers who mentioned this. Yeah, stop doing the butt flap like this. It's just, it looks stupid and it's just unnecessarily inhibiting. So definitely a small gripe. Knees are great. They look good too. That actually looks organic, extremely well done there. Just do a little sculpting like this and it does miles of work for you. That looks great. Let's see. Yeah, you get a swivel, thigh swivel. And let me just see. This is a floating piece and it's flexible, soft plastic. I'm trying to get the thigh to swivel. I'm sure this thigh piece swivels too. Just got to get at it. And ball joint on the, well, not a ball joint. Oh yeah, look, they're doing the same thing with the Naruto figure. So I don't know if you can see that in there. There's a ball joint there connected to a swivel, and that just transitions into the ankle pivot. So that's honestly the best way to do it. No complaints here. Griffith had the same thing, and he could do insane lunging poses thanks to these amazing ankles, and they did the same thing here. So they did these on the Naruto figures first, and those are excellent. So glad to see that incorporated into the DBZ line now. So articulation is great, and he's getting a 5 out of 5 because despite the small issues, I'm not going to nitpick that much because he does everything I want him to. Easily 5 out of 5, and it looks like Figuarts was listening to people complaining because he's just literally perfect. He'll do everything you want him to do. Kamehameha poses are going to be a cinch with him. It was easy enough with the 2.0 bodies. This is just going to be effortless. And yeah, so easy 5 out of 5 for the articulations. Everything is so smooth on him. I'm honestly just shocked. With Figuarts, I've been used to just oiling them, heating them, all this kind of crap. Absolutely nothing with him. And I'm still going to oil him just because I like this figure so much. I don't want anything to happen to him. 5 out of 5. I hope they keep doing this. This is just stunning. This is actually a premium goddamn figure. And I can't stop looking at him. It's such a perfect Goku. This is the ultimate Goku figure. All right, so in terms of accessories, you get a ton, and you get all these different hand sets. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 alternate pairs of hands. You get these kind of blasting hands, I guess, and you get the blasting hands where you can peg on, well, just more open-handed. This is just a more open-handed set, and you do get 2 hands that could connect with the Kamehameha accessory that they gave. So yeah, you get that little peg sticking out there, and you get 2 without that. Honestly, I'm not sure what the difference is between this one and this one. Look the same to me, but I'm not sure. And you get those kind of generic karate, hand-to-hand hair also. So really good. And just a closer look at the alternate faces. So you get the gritting teeth. That looks good. Let's get this dumb camera to focus. Yeah, that looks good. Get the badass yelling head. Really clean paint. Just look at that. And you get kind of like the smirking face. The whole your power level is decreasing face. Looks insanely good. You get a set of bangs when he's powering up, just to make his hair look like it's blowing back or whatever. And get the alternate pair of hair also, just more upswept. And finally, you get the Kamehameha pieces. If you have the Super Saiyan 4 Goku figure, you know how this works. You just get these kind of things and just plug them in. Pretty annoying to match them up, but you know, it works. It does what it has to. So in terms of accessories, 5 out of 5. Great set of accessories here. Comes with everything you need for a Super Saiyan Goku. And let's go straight into overall value. And considering that this is a general release figure and a highly sought after figure, because this is Namek Saga Goku, first time he went Super Saiyan, I'd say easily 5 out of 5. So like I said, this figure is really easy to review because he's literally just perfect in every damn way. Like pricing, articulation, quality, just there's nothing wrong with him. Like he's just that good. And I wish all their figures are like this. And let's hope in 2024 that is the case, because yeah, this is just an amazing figure. So overall value, 5 out of 5. Nothing else needs to be said. Just go get him. Unless you have something against Goku, but yeah, this is literally the DBZ figure, and you probably wouldn't even be watching this review if you didn't like DBZ. So in terms of an overall rating, yeah, so like we said, aesthetics 4.5, articulation, engineering 5, no complaints there, accessories 5, overall value 5. That brings him to a 4.85. Very well deserved and excellent figure. So you won't be disappointed. Looks like they really did their homework on this one. And let's just finish off this review with a little bit of scaling, and I'll show you what he looks like next to the original. So let's get him over there. It's not really even a fair comparison. And there he is next to the original. And the original just looks downright puny by comparison. And, you know, to its credit, the original was an excellent figure. And they look like they're around the same height, too. So, night and day difference. So, there is the original, for those of you curious. Honestly, in the original, it looks like it's got some height on him. But barely. I don't know, though. Yeah, it's definitely like a hair taller. Like half an inch taller in real life. But, yeah, and then finally, let's take a look at Griffith, just because I have him outside. And Griffith is your traditional kind of action figure, like he's exactly 6 inches tall. So if you're curious to see how he scales the like traditional 6-inch figures, yeah, so there's my review. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And yeah, get him. You won't be disappointed. Literally the best Figuarts ever made. And thanks for watching. Take care.